How does having a blind spouse or family member improve your family and your family relationships? Let's watch the video and I will let you know. Hi friends, this is Corey from Blind to Billionaire. Thank you so much for joining us. Today we have an awesome topic and we will also be giving away the prize from last week's Secret Surprise giveaway. I'm using a random YouTube comment generator prize selector app to figure out who the winner is, and I will be doing that shortly. But first, I want to cover this topic for today. So I've actually made even a little list so that because I really like this. I like this concept, I like this topic. So the idea is how do blind people help improve family dynamics, improve family relationships, and make a family stronger. So I have 5 different things that I think resonate with my family with Matt. And so I'm gonna share those with you. Thing number 1 is teamwork. Any family that needs to work more as a team, I think is gonna naturally be stronger. So we have to do a lot of teamwork things. So maybe Matt has certain strengths, like he is really good at like organizing and keeping our house perfect and managing our money, where my job is to, be the driver, be the check writer out, or, different things like that. But we have to have a really we have to have a really well-oiled teamwork machine. And I think that we both have good qualities to bring to the table, but I think when you have to have more teamwork in your family, I think that that's gonna really make you stronger once you kind of get used to the change. The next thing, number 2, is increased time together. Matt and I spend a lot of time together, and I'm not sure if that's the way every family is or a lot of the families are who have a blind person in the family, but we do a lot together. Matt doesn't just like run out to the grocery store without me because he's here most of the day, because he doesn't always work outside the home. He really likes to go out and do things. So if I run to the store, we both go together. We both go to the gym together. We do a lot of things, like we spend a lot of time with each other. And I think that spending time that's quality, and we make a lot of our time as quality as we can, even if we're just like in the car, I think that makes a big difference in your like family dynamics and having like a healthy, good family relationship. So thing number 3 is that there's a vulnerability that comes, I think, with having low vision that is unique and helps you to have to share your feelings and emotions, and in turn makes you have a stronger family dynamic. So, Matt needs help sometimes, and asking for help has been kind of a unique growing challenge for him. He has, over the time I've met him, gone through kind of a grieving process with his vision loss. And I think that it has made him vulnerable. And as he's kind of come closer to kind of an acceptance sort of stage, or he's, creeping more into that, I think he's having to say like, I need help. This is what I need. And I think that that vulnerability does bring you closer, even if at times there's a challenge. And I'm curious to see what everybody thinks of these concepts. The next one is number 4, working through tough times. I think that any family that has gone through someone losing their vision can attest to that there are some tough times, and it is rough and it isn't fun and it is stressful for everyone in the family. And as somebody who isn't losing, like I have my sight, and watching Matt struggle is really tough, and not knowing how to help him, and if I want to help him and he's not ready for certain kinds of help, that's a real challenge. And I think that when you can persevere through a challenge, it, no matter what, makes you have a stronger relationship with your spouse or your family. You've overcome something, you've achieved something, you've figured out like a pattern and like how to solve problems, and also like to know that, okay, so we're having this like tough time, this problem, this situation that's unideal, that's super hard for everyone, that it's scary. But to know that, what, it's a scary time and it's a hard time, but no matter what, like you have people, like Matt has people who love him. And I hope that everyone feels that they have a support person, and know that if you don't, your family might be supporting you and trying to help you, and maybe they're not. Hopefully they are. Hopefully you have a church or a family or group or something that gives you some support. But I know sometimes I think Matt feels under-supported, but it's not necessarily because he is, it's how he feels. So know that your family and the people who love you and say that they care about you, they probably do, but sometimes it's hard. It's hard to be a helper and it's hard to be someone who needs help. But when you can work through that, like I feel like when Matt and I struggle the most, when we like come out of that storm a little bit, we are like pretty happy, which is pretty cool. It's cool to get to experience that. And number 5 is facing adversity together. So I think, I guess that ties along with the working through tough times, but when you have faced adversity, when you have had a struggle and you come out with a system that works or with a plan or with little, you know, figuring out what your plan is and how you're gonna achieve, like, how are you gonna live your life? Like, what are you gonna do about finances? What are you gonna do about how you're gonna spend your time if you can't see as well or whatnot? If you can kind of figure out some of those things, I think, and you face it together, or situations come up where you feel that there is adversity against you. You know, if you're getting, you know, if people either show a negative response to you because of your low vision or your blindness or whatever situation your family's facing, and you guys can stick together and say, you know what, that's not okay, or you get a positive reaction and you feel like, you know what, the world is a great place. There's some like super fantastic people out there. It does, I think, strengthen your relationship and your own like personal feelings of like that the world is a good place. So I think those 5 reasons are why having a blind or low vision or visually impaired family member, either in a marriage or in your nuclear family, really does help strengthen your relationships. So I'm gonna say those one more time. There's teamwork, increased time together, vulnerability, working through tough times, and facing adversity. So those are my 5 reasons why I think having a family member who is blind or visually impaired can strengthen those relationships. Now, I also want to say a caveat to this. There are things about having a blind family member that like aren't easy. So I'm not negating that those are happening. So I made a short list of things that, like, yeah, it's reasonable, it's tough. Going through a grieving process is really, really hard. Maybe the blind person is grieving, maybe the family member is grieving. That makes it hard in a relationship. I also think your identity change can make a difference. So if you used to identify as somebody who had a certain career path, or just in general, the trajectory you thought your life was going to take has changed, that makes it hard for you internally, which makes it hard for your relationships with your family. And I think that that's completely reasonable. Everybody is going through that. Maybe you have a 1-income family. That can be challenging. Maybe you don't. And then I also think that dealing with any kind of like depression, mental health issues in relation to like going through a huge change, like losing your vision, can make family relationships hard. So I wanted to throw those in because I also feel like it's fair to say that, well, I think that overcoming and working through all those things makes your family stronger. I think it's okay to say that, yeah, some things aren't super easy, but if you can work through those things together and come out on top, I think you guys are gonna rock every family relationship. And I really feel like Matt and I have found that, or I feel that I have found a unique closeness and a special, kind of a special relationship in sometimes the things that we go through. So now, yay, it's time for the prize giveaway. Thank you guys for sticking around for the last 8 minutes and 45 seconds. We are gonna wrap this up with the winner. Okay, so I have my app here that, well, it's a website that generates the prizes. So I added in to figure out like how many people commented uniquely. So you get one like thing in for every time that you commented only. So like if one person sent 8 comments, they still only get 1 shot. So we have 124 unique commenters, which is super cool. So you guys have a 1 in 124 chance of winning an Amazon gift card. Okay, and if you live somewhere that doesn't have Amazon, we'll figure that out, no worries. Okay, so I'm going to start the raffle and pick a random winner, and I will announce it. Okay, ready? It's generating the winner. Ooh, who's it gonna be? The winner is Android Sucks, and he is from Orlando, Florida. Woo, Orlando, Florida. Way to go, Android Sucks. This is what I want you to do. I would like you to email me and Matt at blind2billionaire@gmail.com, and we will get you an Amazon gift card. So thank you so much for everybody who commented. I thought it was so fun last week to hear where everybody's from. I hope that some of you were able to kind of connect and feel like your community had grown in some ways from around the world, but also made the world a smaller place by knowing that we're all kind of in this together. So thank you all so much. Thank you for being here today. Have an awesome weekend, and we will be back on Monday. Thank you so much. Have a great day. And if you want to subscribe or comment, like, we'd love to hear from you. Thank you.